So very, very actually nowadays this friendship is from very old time. If you see very ancient time also friends were there, and friendship is a mitrata or friendship is a very common concept. But nowadays it's very, very important to understand. People will say nowadays it's not very much need to understand because everybody knows everybody is now in that friendship mode only. Now it's very much open. Earlier days when boys and girls they will not have so now it's not we have friends. They're very close. Don't we see that in colleges and in institutes? You say generally, even in our offices also, they are very close. They will eat in same plate, and so much things they are going on. Sometimes they are too close that it's even not very Vedic. If you see Vedic perspective, it's not very good. So, but in this superficial, this is called like superficial friendship. This is the present day concept of friendship, which is very, very superficial. So we have to understand this. This is very, very important to understand. You know, people friendship means just to give enjoyment to each other, and we are friends. I can give some enjoyment to you. You can give me something. So we are friends. That's very, very superficial concept, right? And, so there was one person, three friends were there. So one said, "My father is so strong, so powerful that when he shoots the arrow, before arrow reaches, he reaches there." You might have heard this story. Then another fellow said that my father is even faster, that when he shoots a bullet, before bullet reaches, he reaches there. And third one said, my father is very great. Why? Because he's a government employee. His office gets over by 5 and he reaches 2 o'clock only. Everybody want to show off. Somehow or other want to. And nowadays, what happens is, one boy said that whenever I go to my parents, I say some problem that I have this problem. They will say, very funny, that the reason for all your problem is your mobile. If you throw this mobile, all the problems will be solved. The boy said, after hearing this, every time I get frustrated. I don't want to go and talk to my parents. I don't want to go and share my problem with the parents. So that's how when parents are not listening, this kind of situation started happening in that age. Right? Then people switch towards some other kind of friendship, which is social media, right? Because there they are free to share. Because you don't have to worry, just say some words and some share. And there another option is that easily you can switch over. You can change your friends easily. If you just scroll and unfriend, that's it, right? And you can make. There may not be any connection with somebody sitting in US and some lady sitting in US wearing nice dress and put a profile pic and we sent friend request and she accepted. There is nothing happened, but we got a little. Correct or not? We get set. So people, why they moved from that? Because everybody wanted that such as he went to his parents and shared some problem. Parents said, "This is mobile is your all problem." May or may not be true, but he gets frustrated because every time you are giving same. So people moved towards that. But there also, what happens is in social media, this Facebook, before Facebook there was Orkut, and now this WhatsApp. In this, people are too much in that. This what do you call for this world? Like this is imaginary, something like cloud. They are too much now in that it comes as a disease now. In Japan, it is one disease is nowadays very common. In Japan, it is a big disease. More than 10 lakh youngsters, youth especially, they are affected. What is the disease is that these boys, these kids, I mean like boys or girls, youngsters, they don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to face anybody. They don't want to interact with anyone. They have kept themselves closed in the room and they are happy there. And parents have to feed them by pushing food plates under the door. Like that, because they don't want to come out And this is not one or two. More than 10 lakhs are affected with such kind of disease. And if they don't like food, they come out. They go to vending machine and purchase food from them. They don't go to hotel, or they don't go and interact with waiter, or they don't talk to waiter or hotel guy to get food. No, they go to vending machine, press it and get it, and they don't want to that much that it is this affected them in such a way. So the point comes here is that when you go to your parents, they are not understanding. Generally, most of the cases you see now, why suicide cases and all are coming because parents are not understanding kids. Somewhere, if you heard that movie was the no 3 years, they made such a one concept that my parents are not understanding. Funny way, but this happens nowadays. Parents are not able to understand because sometimes they are not understanding. Sometimes, but in cases where parents are not able to understand, that cases if we consider, and friends, what friends does, they make fun of us, right? Yeah. Friends are making fun of us, and you can open altar. And parents are not able to understand our problem, our real, because as we say, no, they his parents said all the reason for your problem is your mobile. So people go to social networks, social media, and there they get such kind of diseases. They are too much in that imaginary world. You know? So in that situation, it is very crucially important to understand the relationship, friendship. Shri Nitai Gausunda Bhagwan ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Radha ki jai, Krishna Balaram ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So it is very important to understand how to develop meaning to our friendship, to our relationship in today's world. So we will try to discuss some 7 things. 7 things which will make our friendship very good. Hare Krishna. You came on time, but we started it a little early, so we are sorry for that. Thank you. Ah, Prabhu? Okay. 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 So, so we will discuss some 7 things, which is like 7, maybe whatever you want. You can say 7 steps, 7 secrets, 7 pillars, something to make your friendship. So it is said that if you want to know what you actually are, or a human being is an average of 5 people whom he associate with. This is very important. Now we just briefed out, but now we are coming. Today's topic is your best friend, or the secrets of friendship, right? So we discussed little. Like, yeah, tomorrow is friendship day, very important day in our life. It will come next year only then. So before we go, and why we put it today, we could have put it tomorrow evening or maybe, but why we put have this topic today, because before we go and celebrate friendship day with our friends tomorrow, we get a better understanding what actually friendship is and how we can develop better friendship and what is the real idea of friendship, right? So put your mobile on switch off. Anyway, so we just build up some here there, and now we are coming to, we were just looking like why it is important to understand that how to make good relationship, good friendship. So we will discuss 7 things. So I was just telling that a human being becomes an average of 5 people whom he constantly associate with. Very important point. What is that? Can everybody repeat? A human being becomes an average of 5 people whom he constantly associate with. Makes sense? So if I am associating with some people, so minimum those 5 people whom I am associating very much closely, whatever they are, their attitude, their behavior, that average is me. That will come to me. That's why this association is very, very important. Whom are we going to associate? That is very, very important. So if we really want to know who we actually are, we have to see whom we are actually associating. Right? So we need to count this by people who are very, very important in our life because they are affecting us somehow or other, right? That's why nowadays, if you see, when earlier days parents used to complain to teacher, "Hey, you are not teaching my kids," and all that. But now teachers are doing ulta. They are telling what you are doing in your home because most of the time your kid is associating with. You can understand probably, right? That's what teachers are telling nowadays. Earlier days it's not. Earlier days parents will say, "What you are teaching? Huh? Your teacher no." Nowadays is telling your parents no. You are associating with him more no. So it is affecting, right? Even for speaking English and all, they are telling parents should speak only English. Then only kids will learn. So first secret of friendship is that friendship, as I said, no, this association, we should associate or we should have friendship only with like-minded people. And friendship should have like-mindedness. Like-mindedness means same interest. Okay, so, similar. They think similarly, right? Any example? Any friends you know? Ah, like-mindedness. The best example is, so today maybe there will be so many stories maybe coming. Time permits, we will share a lot of stories, small, small, short stories. So Krishna and Arjuna are very good friends. Bhagavad Gita says Krishna is telling, "You are my friend." So they have a like-mindedness. They are, and that's why they were able to help each other for a long go, right? For a long go, they help in each other in very much closely, right? Even Krishna broke in his own bow to protect his friend, right? Will come. So this like, yeah, in that way you can say they both want to cheat or something like that. But anyway, so this first example for like-mindedness is Krishna and Arjuna. So we know that they have done a lot of for each other. And then it is said like you can buy a pen. If you have lost your pen, you can buy a new pen. But if you lost your cap of your pen, you can't buy it. So some people say that's why our all friends are like Dakkan. Dakkan means cap. So if we have that kind of mentality to use our friend, then our friendship will not go very long, right? So there is another. So first concept is called the friendship, which is in like-mindedness, and there is another friendship called, which is friendship by circumstances. Right? How it is? Any example?
I have when we are starting jobs, that time we make a lot of friends by going to interview with different companies. And later on, they will help us. And some of you also help them. Some of the friends.
So this friend, yeah, correct. Your example is correct. So friendship by circumstances. There is a story of Karna and Shalya.
Karna and
Shalya, one warrior was there in. So what happened after Drona died? So nobody was there as his like commander in chief, right? Hmm. So just started. This is extra arrangement for saving ourselves from mosquitoes. Big mosquitoes are there nowadays. So we have already started. So today we are discussing 7 secrets of friendship. Tomorrow is Friendship Day. So before we go and celebrate Friendship Day, we can have the better understanding of friendship. So first point was, can anybody say what was the first secret? Like-minded. Friendship, if it is in like-mindedness, huh, then it will last for long. And like-minded people become friends, it will last long. And that example we discussed was Krishna and Arjuna. They shared and they helped each other for long ago, right? Then second one we were discussing is friendship by circumstances. So we had a example of Karna and Shalya in Mahabharata. So after Drona died, Drona was commander in chief that time, and he died. Then next commander in chief was Karna. And Karna, he said that I can kill Arjuna just in like that, just in one day, if I get a chariot driver like Krishna. I can kill him. But since I don't have a chariot driver like Krishna, there is some difficulties. So Duryodhana said, "What is this?" Eh? So, as a solution, he said, "Okay, if Shalya becomes my chariot driver," he was another person, another warrior. Eh, I think he was a mama or uncle of Duryodhana. I don't know. I'm not very sure. Anyway, so if Shalya becomes my chariot driver, I can still win over Arjuna. So, but Shalya don't want to become chariot driver. Chariot driver is a low post. Eh, you become commander in chief and you are asking me to become your chariot driver. What is this? But Duryodhana somehow he convinced Shalya. Okay, become, and Shalya got agreed, but one condition. What is that condition? That I will speak anything. Whatever I want, I will speak. But Karna should not stop me. Right? That was his condition. What was his condition?
You should not be stopped.
You should not get distracted by this. You know, the condition was that Shalya said, I will speak anything, whatever I want. But Karna should not stop me. If you make him agree on this condition, then only I become Charioteer. So somehow he is okay. And Karna got agree. Then what happened? As soon as fight started, Karna said, take me where Arjuna is. So Shalya said, look that you want to die today itself. He said, it's look that you want to die today itself. So Karna said, don't you talk too much, okay? Your job is what I say you follow. So you take me there only. Shalya said, you are like a crow. See, he has a condition, he can speak anything. So he said that you are like a crow. So he shared a story. There was a crow. I think this story everybody will know. There was a crow and there was a swan. So this crow wanted to become king of birds. Right? You heard this story? So he wanted to become king of birds. So he used to do a lot of, what you call this? This no. What do you call it for Kalavaji? This circus people will do no lot of things. Something. He will go and dive inside the water and do some, action so many. And he used to attract all the birds and he used to say, see, I can do this all stuff. So he used to declare me king of birds. So all the birds got very much irritated. They said, oh, if you can defeat in flying to swan, if you can defeat him in flying, then we will declare you king of bird. So he said, yeah, what is the problem? So they story Shalya to Karna. Why? Because he said you are like a crow. So you want to prove. So he said the story. So when they started flying over the sea, so after some time, till some time, crow was able to manage. But how long? There is no, because swan has that ability. Crow doesn't have. So crow started coming down, and then he started going inside the water. Then swan is telling, "Oh, this is a new technique, a new trick you are doing, new action you learn." So crow said, "No, bhai, I can't fly. I'm going drowning inside the water. Please save me." I agree. I defeat. Please save me. So Swan took the crow on the back and brought him back. So Shalya said, "You are like that crow only. You can just show off something. But if Arjuna want, he will defeat you in one day only." So this kind of friendship, which came because of some circumstances, you have to last long, right? So one type of friendship is friendship because of like-mindedness. Second is because of circumstances. Because the person sitting next to our bench in our classroom or sitting in the same cubicle in our office, we may share a lot of things, but he may not be our friend, right? He may not be our best friend because the circumstances made us to become friend, right? Or our neighbors, they are our neighbors, but they cannot be in all cases. I'm not telling like it's like universal truth, but in maximum cases they may not be your best friend. Like as you said, that will not last long. So in your example, if you get your job settled, then you won't even look who helped me where. It's true, right? How much you learn, right? So that is why when people were so the circumstances is this is the scenario, and then why this friendship in circumstances doesn't last long. Sometimes people are too much talented also, and because of their talent, they are too much talented, but they don't have a right attitude to approach the people and to interact with the people. So there was some one husband and wife married, and there was some problem in between them. In first 6 months, they enjoyed nicely, happy relationship, and but after some time, they were in some problem. What was the problem? Because husband is from IIT or IIM that background, and wife is from ISB, Bangalore, top college. So they are too much talented. So husband used to maintain an Excel sheet. What all I did for my wife. So I visited my wife's house. Tick. She visited my tick. I served her parents tick. She served my parents tick. Like that they maintain their Excel sheet. So when a relationship becomes Excel sheet, how can you define what this is? Circumstances are like that. You can't just people are defining everything in too much talent will not help, right? Because this thing is so if people are most talented, because this is seen the most successful people, not all, most successful people, they fail to develop a better relationship, better friendship. You see that most successful people will not have a proper husband wife relationship, right? Sometimes circumstances are like that, sometimes something ego, attitude, too much talent, right? Most of the successful people, these IAS officers, they're not having very happy relationship. And business tycoons, in movies they are showing. In real life, we may know, right? From a outside world, it looks very great, but reality is something different. Because from more than talent, what is important is attitude, right? Attitude of the people. Then only they will be able to. Because why attitude is very important? Because if attitude is not very right, then we can't tolerate each other. Right? Tolerance is a very important factor in our friendship or any relationship, right? Because if a relationship has to go long, we have to tolerate each other. Then there is a third kind of friendship, friendship because of wealth, right? Yes, Salim. Because of wealth, right? So this is like that only. Somebody that because I'm very well, everybody will become my friend. They want to show their and anywhere when this is very important point in friendship or in any relationship that money or wealth should come in last. In any relationship, this money or wealth should come last. So people who think that they can win over friends or they can be a successful friends or they can have a long lasting friendship, just by using their wealth. They are sadly mistaken. It's a very big mistake which they are doing. Wealth cannot help you to sustain your relationship or your friendship for long time, right? Any should not be any conflict in this, because nowadays people who have got some experience in this, they will understand very easily. Nowadays everybody is understanding, right? But what happens is, after understanding again we will do the same mistake, you know. So there is a story of Drona and Drupada. Anybody heard about this? Drupad. What was the story?
Corona and Kolkata, both of them are very good childhood friends.
Yeah.
Both got married from March 1st.
Okay.
And what happened? March 1st was a sage, so he lives a ascetical life. His son also followed him, so they also lived an ascetical life. But Rupada was a son of a king. He became the next king. So one day, when Ashwatthama was a child, he asked for a milk.
Ashwatham.
Ashwatthama was a child of
Okay, come to the point.
So
We
he
don't
asked
have
for
much
milk.
time.
Yeah. But there was no milk, so he went to his friend Rupada for milk. Asking a cow. Asking a cow. He said like I'm a friend, but he got it. So I'm not your friend. You are a very
So actually, what happened there, in their childhood, Drupada actually promised. In their childhood, Drupada promised that I will give you my half kingdom. That was a promise. So when the need came, Drona, after so many years, Drona approached Drupada in his kingdom, and he asked for. He said, "You are my friend in that time, and you promised that you will give me half kingdom. So I came to claim that." Anyway, he should not go in that mood to claim. That anyway, his friend promised, that's good, but he should not go and claim. No, you give me. That's also so. What he claimed, but what Drupada said, that I don't remember who you are actually. I don't know. If you are friend also, that's a long way. School days over, and that turned into a big clash, and that clash was going on 3 generations. Right? So point is, the if somebody thinks in that way that by using our wealth I can win over the friends, they are mistaken, right? Because this my wealth, that word of I is very small word, smallest word, but it should not become the biggest word in our vocabulary. I centered, my centered. That should not come very. You know? So that word I should not be very, means it should not at all, it should not at all be, we should not be very I centered or my centered, because it is said, because this I represents our ego, right? So it is said, one quote I was just reading, somebody said that relationships are never died by their natural death, they are murdered by ego, right? Relationships are not died their natural death, they are murdered by ego. For this, I am great, I am very influential, I am very wealthy, and these things comes in our friendship. Today's topic is, who is our best friend, how we can have a long lasting friendship. Tomorrow's friendship, that's why we are discussing. So when these things comes, I that wealth, ego, then that friendship will not last long. The first secret was like-mindedness, right? The great amount of love in between friends will make our friendship long lasting. But if our friendship is very much influenced by wealth, ego, power, and position, it will not have. So we should have that like-mindedness, that great amount of love which is uninfluenced by power, wealth, ego, position. It should not be influenced by that. And the second is, so our friendship is based on love. That's first principle. Second principle is and there we discuss different type of friendship, by wealth, by like-mindedness, right, by circumstances. Now the second secret is, if you see, we are preparing for everything in our life, don't we? We prepare. We prepare for exams, we prepare for interviews, we prepare for dates, right? We prepare for everything wherever we go. Are we preparing for friendship, to go into friendship? What kind of, any, do we really prepare to enter into friendship? How much we really prepare? So most of the people don't prepare at all. You know? Why? They don't prepare at all. They feel that they are naturally inclined to go into friendship. They don't prepare at all. They don't think. Nowadays, even in marriages, I heard here in Kerala they have some counseling before that marriage, right? In Christians they have some counseling. At least they try to prepare something before go to the relationship. So because for everything we are preparing, right? So I'll share now three principles how to deal after marriage. No, no.
They will take class. Oh, okay.
Anyway, so our point is how I'll share three principle, very important principle, which will help us to prepare in enter into friendship. So the first principle called is lens principle. Lens. Lens principle says who we are determines what we see. Right? Who we are determines what we see. So one story is there. There was Drona and there was Duryodhana. So once Drona asked Duryodhana, you go and find a person who is who is having bad quality or who is worse than you. No, he asked Dronacharya, Duryodhana, you go and ask a person who is better than you in the kingdom. Go and search for a person who is better than you. Whom he asked? Duryodhana. And Duryodhana went. And he searched. And then he came back. And he said, I didn't find a single person even. Why? Because he said, every person at least having one or two bad qualities, which I don't have. So he didn't find any person who is better than him in whole kingdom. Then he said, Drona said to Yudhishthira also say that you go and find a person who is worse than you. Who is worse than you. And then Yudhishthira went and searched, he didn't find not a single person. He didn't find even a single person. Why? So he said, I didn't find even a single person who is having what? Who is having a bad quality or even a single bad quality which I don't have. Somewhere or other they have something better than me. So everybody is better than me, nobody is worse than me. So how we are, that's how we see. So Duryodhana didn't find any person who is better than him, and Yudhishthira didn't find anybody who is worse than him. Right? So it's very, very important point. So our analysis of others is completely depending on our system of our needs and our values. Right? How we see others. So this lens principle says, first point is that who we are determines what we see. This is the in lens principle. This is the first point, that who we are determines what we see. So if somebody is want to dress himself very good, he want to dress himself, then wherever he will go, he will see others dress only. Correct or not? Yeah, what he is wearing, like that, he will be focusing on dress only. Right? Or if somebody want to have some nice hairstyle, he is having that idea that to have a good hairstyle. Then wherever you will go, you will see people's hairstyle only. Correct or not? And when people want somebody wants a nice car, and he looks on car only. So in my office there was a girl. So whenever we go for somewhere together, like some group lunch or somewhere, so I saw her. I noticed her. She's very much crazy about cars. Oh, look at that Audi! Phew, look at that Benz. She'll be like somebody, And she was her husband in Dubai had got some very wonderful car which have got all the functions. She used to tell all the time, he's enjoying. He's having such a car, have all the function here. Because what we actually are, that's what we'll see, right? General example I shared. You So, and the second thing is who you are, who we are determine what we see in others and how we see others, right? So, first is what we see, and second is how we see, right? Which means, so there was an old man. There was one old man who was in a village, and one traveler came there in the village. This story might small stories everybody might have heard in childhood. Okay, so one traveler came and asked this old man in the village, "What kind of people are there in this village?" Anybody heard the story? No? What kind of people are there in this village? He asked. Who asked? Traveler. This old man. So old man replied another question. What kind of people are there in the village you are coming from? So he said, Are in that village people are all rascal and this and that, they are very critical, they are bad, they are negative, so many bad things. So old man said, exactly same are people in this village also. So he said, Oh really? Then I want to stay in this land moving. So okay. No. Another traveler came and he asked the same question. What kind of people are living in this world, in this village? So he replied the same question. What kind of people are there in the village you are coming from? So this second traveler said, Oh, that village is very nice. Their people are very good. They help each other. They are loving each other. There is a good relationship between them. They celebrate all the things together. They celebrate happiness. They share the pain together. Very nice village. Then the old man said, can anybody guess what he said? Exactly the same type of people are there in this village. If you want, you can stay in this village. So what we conclude with this story? What we are, that's how we are going to see others. Right? First is what we are, that's what we will see. And how we see, that is the what we see first, how we see second. Third is who we are determines how we see life. Right? What is that? Who we are determines how we see life. So there was a child, okay, who wanted to trick on his grandfather. So grandfather was sleeping. So he took on rotten cheese, some cheese or paneer, which was smelling. And while he was sleeping, he applied on his mustache. And after some time, when he woke up, he's telling, "My God, this room is stinking." He went to another room. This room is also stinking. Then he went to third room. This room is also stinking. The whole house is stinking. What is this? He went outside. He's saying the whole world is stinking. So the problem is not with the world, not with the room, right? What we are, that's how we are going to see. In Hindi, they say, Jasa Ranka, what is that? This what in Hindi they say that what kind of glasses you have put on your eyes, that's how we will see the world. So how we see life also depends who we are. So these are the three principles. So lens principle says who we are determined what we see, how we see, and how we see the life. Because this thing is very very important, because everybody has got some good or some bad. Nobody is perfectly good, nobody is perfectly bad. So there are 5 ways how we will see the things in others. So first one is the people who will see little bad in others and they will focus on that only. This is the first. They will see little bad in others. Even a little bad they will see and they will try to magnify it. They will focus on that part only. That is the first way. Second way is good and bad. But they see both. They see good, they see bad, but they emphasize on which part? Bad. And the third is they see good and they see bad and they emphasize on. And the fourth is everybody can guess. The fourth is they see good, they see bad, but they emphasize on good. They magnify. And the fifth is they see even small good in others and they try to emphasize on that. They try to magnify. And we all are fifth one only. Right? We see only good in others, right? No. We can never become the fifth one. It's very tough. Only some very saintly people, great personalities can become first. And we are not also first category also. That we are only seeing bad and magnifying it. We are not that also. We are somewhere in 2, 3, 4. Right? So what our agenda should be, the lens principle says is that we try to upgrade ourselves from the second category, third to the fourth. Right? We are in this only. Right? So we try to upgrade. So in friendship, when we see good in our friends and try to focus on that, that friendship will last long. That is the good way, right? Because you see, there is example of this thing, fly and bee, right? So if you see fly's nature, whatever good will be there, it will go and sit on the stool only, on the bad thing only. That is the nature of fly. But if you see the nature of bee, even if a garbage is there, waste box is there, waste bin is there, and there is some flower or something nectar kind of thing, this bee will search that and it will focus on that. Right? That is our idea, what we should take. Right? In our friendship, we should try to see the good in others, because everybody has got good or bad. Even I, even you, even everyone. Right? So we will try to focus on the good in others and try to magnify it, emphasize it, and focus on that. And in that way, we will be able to make our friendship last long. Right? So that is the first principle. Then second principle is mirror principle. What is the mirror? So lens we saw. Then mirror is before you see others or judge others, look at yourself. Right? That's a mirror. So before we see others or judge others, we should try to look on ourselves. We should spend some time in looking at ourselves. Right? I don't know how many of you heard there was a baseball player very famous. His name was Pitosky. Very famous baseball player. And what was his? Why he was very famous? Because he was very expert in studying the strength of opponents, strength and weakness. He was very much good in analyzing this thing. If you have seen that movie, in Hindi movie Chak De India, this guy is doing this all analyzing, right? They will do. They analyze who is the weak point, is right. So this Petos, he was very expert in studying this strength of opponent, and that's why he was very expert. But unfortunately, he didn't do that same thing for him. He didn't know what is his strength and what is his weakness, and he had a bad habit of gambling. And this he never noticed, that he is going more and more into this habit. And this habit, because for habit, if you they say that first you make habit, then habit makes you. Right? So this habit of gambling was taking him, and it took over him completely. And because of that, he lost this concentration on the game, and he became the failure. Right? So it is very important that before we judge others, before we analyze others, we spend some time on analyzing ourselves. Because most of the time people are unaware of their own good and bad, but they study the whole world. They can judge, they can tell each and everything. Right? So what mirror principle says is before we analyze others, we spend some time in analyzing ourselves. Because there was a story in Vedas, it is mentioned in ancient Puranas that at that time when it's a long time when people will not have this bathrooms and all facility in that much way, the people will go outside. So it's a funny story, I don't know. So one day one guy went for nature's call and he saw his own stool. He just happened to see his own stool. And after seeing his own stool, he said, "Gee, such a nasty, right?" It's obvious if somebody sees his own stool, even his own stool, but he don't feel very good. It's nasty. So it says the story says that the stool started speaking. And what can anybody guess what the stool said? The stool said, "One night before I was a samosa and I spent one night with you, I became this." So whose problem? So sometimes it's very important that when we blame others, that you are like this, you are like that, they may be because they are associating with us. Sometimes it may happen, right? So this is the mirror principle which says don't just blame others, don't just judge others simply, but what you do it before judging others, before analyzing others, put some time and spend some time for analyzing ourselves. Right? What is the first principle? Lens principle. Second is mirror principle. Third is very important, the hammer principle. Can anybody guess what will be the hammer principle? Hammer principle says that so many people use one tool to solve all the problems. Right? So, because in today's world, if you see in all the friendship groups and all, everybody want to show that they are the superhero of this group. They are the macho man, this and that. If you see any group of friends, everybody is trying to show that he is the center of the group. Right? So what happens? There are how they do it. They will say that they want to show that they have solution for everything, for all the problems. You go, they will tell something. Right? If we are having that kind of things, that showing off ourselves or that giving solutions, same solution for every problem of our friend, then it's our friendship will not last long, right? Because if we try to show, we are not showing our weaknesses in our friend circle, our friends, but we are just trying to show always that I am great. We are trying to show only our strength. So that trying to show our strength will not help in friendship. It will create sometimes envious nature in our friends also, right? Why? Because if you are always showing, then it will not work. And that's all like hammer principle. And sometimes what happens is we become too much in that hammer idea that even before understanding the problem of our friend properly, we give solution. You heard some, you saw people like that. So once what happened, there was a person who went to a hotel and asked waiter, "Do you have some solution for hiccups?" This thing. Huh? And what this waiter said, "Yes," and he took something from there and he hit on his face. And he said, "Why did you hit on my face?" He said, "See, hiccups are gone." No, no. He said, "I didn't have this problem. My wife who's sitting inside the car, she have this hiccup problem." Right? So sometime in our friend circle, in our friendship, we have people or we ourselves do something that giving solution before understanding the problem, that and that problem becomes as like hammer. Same thing for everything, right? So in most of the time, people don't like that kind of attitude. That Superman type of attitude, people don't. Sometimes they don't like. And you might have experience also. Sometimes people will say you this thing. Are this guy always trying to show himself he is great. In offices will say, he's always coming. Some people are like that. They will come. I did this. I did this. I will tell you. Come. What you are talking to me? I know. Come. I will show you. And he will tell the same solution. Right? Solution. So people don't like this attitude. You're giving solution. This like a hammer. What people like is, you're comfortable there. Yeah. Or you can move it. What people really like is somebody who can elevate them, right, to the next level. But what elevators does is, you know, we have elevators everywhere. What elevator does is it takes people up and it brings people down also, right? So we should not act in that way, that bringing people down, right? Showing ourselves, I am the boss, I am the great, I know this, I know this. Some people do things for that purpose only. Okay, why people buy big car? Most of the people buy to show others that I am. Hey, why this selfie thing has come up in the very much in this world? Because I want to show that I am, right. So I'll, even this is too much craziness that people will put their photo in the Facebook or somewhere and they will call their friend and ask them like it. Right? And nowadays, friends in this Facebook, wonderful tool, provided so much options. I like it, I love it, ha ha ha, and this and that. There are options. In between, there was something another which they removed.
Flowers.
Flower. No, no, not that one. This thing is coming. No, in Facebook. One like, one love. This is coming. No. Ha. Wow. In between, they added some blue color flower. Thanks or something. Thankful, something like that. Which they removed. So people don't like this kind of attitude. People like the people who can elevate others. So how you can elevate? You help the people in their negative situations. You help them to come towards the positivity. You help them to think positively, right? So the point is, which Hammer principle says, is that we should learn that we need to become elevators and not to take people downwards. In our friends' life, in our relationship, we should learn this thing that we should not pull people down, but we should bring them upwards. We should elevate them. We should try to help them. So the third secret is, which is very important, that most friendships are based on how we perceive people, how you analyze people in our mind. That is very important, right? So, and most friendships are based on how we deal with our mind. We will always have such, because everybody is not happy what they already have. If I have a pen and my friend is having a better pen, I'm not happy. If I have a car, my friend is having a better car, I'm not very happy. Phone, anything, right? Because our mind is in such a way that we don't try to focus what we already have, and what we does is we are always trying to search something very special in our life. Oh, that someone very special will come in our life. Hmm? And we, in that search of someone very special, we miss to give care to who already we have, our present friends, right? So there was a boy who does not want to go to school one day. He wanted to have a holiday. So he played a trick on his school event. So evening he went to school and took three sheep, right? White color sheep, and he painted them. What he painted? One sheep he put number 1, then second number 2, and then third number four. He put four, and he put all these three sheep. You heard the story? You can share. Okay, so he put this all sheep inside the school and went away, and these sheep in whole night they messed up the school. Everywhere this waste was there, and then morning they saw, oh my God, there are some sheep inside the school, and they searched, and they found number one sheep, they found number two sheep, and they found number four, and they are missing number three sheep. This really doesn't exist, and this whole staff is getting panic. Where is number three? Where is number three? And they are searching, and they declared holiday. So the point is, sometime in our life we are not focusing what we actually have. We are always looking for that number three, which actually doesn't exist. We really looking for someone. Someone will come, my close friend. So what friend I have, I am just not giving care to them, right? And then there is another point is that everybody want to be in focus, right? They don't want to focus on others, but they want to the center of focus. And that's what in our friendship group we see that I should be the center of attraction, right? And that if we think in that way, that will lead us to a bad friendship, right? How it is, because what I want to do is, what I want is like, I want become I should be great than others, so I will pull them down like that. Eh? So there was three friends, and somehow they got interaction with God, and God asked them to ask for a benediction. One benediction I'll give you, God said. So one guy said, and they were all three were dark complexion, black. So one guy said, you make me white, gora bana do, white complexion. Okay. Other one said, after seeing, oh, मुझे भी गोरा बना दो, make me also white. He also, third one said, इन दोनों को काला बना दो, right? Make these two black. Why? Right? Because sometimes we are not able to see the bigger picture. But what we are trying to see is we want to become picture ourselves. I am the focus, right? So it is that the most people, instead of looking the bigger picture, they try to make themselves as the picture. They want to make them as the center of it, right? So as I earlier said that in our friends group, everybody is trying to prove that I am the center of this group, I am the superhero of the group. And the moment we try to show ourselves better than others, it is said that people start feeling difficulties, right? And that happiness, that friendship that will not last for long. The more we focus on ourselves, the more we become selfish, and the more friendship becomes hollow. There is no meaning in that friendship because everybody is self-centered, everybody is selfish, everybody want to show them, right? We should have that kind of attitude that everybody can teach us. I am not the superhero. I will tell. They also can teach me. Right? So there is another big important point is that, and that's very real, that everybody want to become this, have this charismatic feeling, right? Center of attraction. Everyone. Eh? And I don't know, this Hadai Pran Prabhu was there, no? In his team there was a boy like that who was too much in this. He just wanted that I should become. He openly used to declare how I can do this, that I become center of attraction. He used to tell to the people, "Can you tell me something like that?" He came and told me, "Prabhu, this kind of guy is there." So everybody have this feeling to become so attractive like that. So how we can become that? Why? If we show our friends or the people real compassion or genuine love, if we express, the genuineness should be there, then automatically that attracts them towards us. Makes sense? So that is a very important point. And then the fourth secret is how we interact with our friends. That is the fourth step, right? So nowadays, if you see, the generally interactions are like pulling down our friends, pulling their legs. that is the interaction, right? And no, this is not a proper way to interact with our friends, right? So we will see the some simple thoughts or simple principles for how we can deal interact with our friends. It's a common sense thing only, but it is said that common sense is not so common, right? So the first point is here: be happy when friend is happy, right? When we find that our friends are happy, we should become, right? So this story everybody might have heard of two friends who were in jungle, and one bear came, right? Then one guy started tying his laces. He said, what you are doing? Eh? We should run. He said, that's why I'm tying my laces so that I can run faster than you. I said, what does it mean? Just see, bear wants one of us. He's not having any choice. He wants one of us. So if I tie my laces properly, I can run faster than you, and bear will get you. So that kind of friendship is not very good, because people want to happy, but they don't want others to happy. They don't want to help in others to make them happy, right? He's not worrying about the beer. He's worrying that he should be defeated. So that is not the very good way to sustain our friendship, and that is sometimes it is referred as this is very much there, very much common. People want to pull down. So there was a in villages there used to be fairs, right? And there was a stall and some competition. They will be there, like hitting the balloons, right? So there was a competition in a fair that kids were playing. That there was a person sitting and you have to throw tomatoes. So if the tomato hits the person's face, then you will be going to the this water. So people enjoyed that very much, seeing others going down. That is their nature. They want to enjoy seeing others going down. Hmm? This is called mentality of scorpions. Anybody know what is the mentality of scorpions? Right? It is said that scorpions can be carried easily in an open box, in a bucket. You don't need to close it. Why? Because when one scorpio tries to come out, goes up, other scorpio pulls him down. Right? And when another tries, other pulls him down. So practically everyone trying to pull others down and nobody is able to come out. But if they want, they can change their attitude and they can all come out. Actually, it's not closed. They can all come out. But because of their this mentality to pull others down, nobody is able to come out. This is very much seen in our present world, right? That is called mentality of a scorpion, which we should really, really avoid. And this is another principle is that more important than the experiencing happiness when friend is happy is experiencing pain when friend is in pain, right? So there was a small girl and who came to house after school, and she wanted to shave off her hair. Some 5 6 year old girl, school going girl. So she was crying and she wanted to shave off her ears. Mother asked why. She said, no, I just want. And then she did it. Then mother followed next day to school to see what is the actual reason. Then she saw that in her class there is another boy who got cancer, and because of that something happened and this hairs was gone, and all the class people used to make fun of him. So this girl, just to accompany him in his pain, in friend's pain, just to accompany, she removed her hair. So when we share experience, when we share happiness, that's okay, that's fine. That gives happiness to friends, but it is more pleasing to the friends when we share their pain, right? Friendship means, it is said, want to be part of the pain of friends, of their pain. You want to become part of their pain. So that was the first thought, that be happy when friend is happy. The second thing is, if you don't help your friend to deal with negativity in their life, then you are just a friend in good weather, and when bad weather comes, you will run away. Right? Shita was the one. In Hindi, there is a song "Sukh ke sab saathi dukh mein na." You heard that? You heard that? There is a song in Hindi, old song. Everybody is friend of mine when I am happy, when I am in sorrow. Yeah. Next line says, "My dear Lord, your holy name." He's telling, "My dear Lord Ram, your holy name is only my friend." He's telling in one of the song, an old Hindi movie, Dilip Kumar. Anyway, so it is the second thing it says that if we are not helping our friend to deal with negativity in their life, then we are not good friends, right? So everybody sees this negativity and negative situation in their life, right? So one man was there. He was going for his first interview, very nicely prepared, put a new suit and nice shoes, neat and clean. He was just ready to go, and he stepped few meters from his house, and one bird passes too long, and his whole suit got spoiled. New one. He's going for first interview. So much expectation. Then immediately he said, "Thank God." His friend got shocked. Hey, why thank God? Your whole things are spoiled. He said, "Thank God that elephant doesn't fly." Otherwise, it will be so much trouble, right? So, friends who helps us to see positivity, positive things, even in the worst, even in the negative, most negative situations, and that things will help in lasting friendship for a long time. Because everybody goes through negative situation, right? If anybody is there in our life who can help us to see some positive in those negative situations, that is called real friend, right? So there is another story, a person who went to an auditorium and he came to stage and he told a joke. And what was the joke? He was just celebrating his 50th marriage anniversary, and people asked him actually, "What is the secret of your marriage anniversary?" So he told that his the secret of his marriage successful marriage, his 50th marriage anniversary. So secret is that he respect his wife very much, and on their 20th anniversary he took his wife to Rome, and on 58th he brought her back. He's bringing her back, right? Everybody laughed. Wonderful joke. Then after some time he said the same joke again. So the people who didn't understand the joke in first time, they laughed again in this time. Then after 2 minutes again he said the same joke. Some people still laughed or tried to laugh. After 2 minutes again he said the same joke. Then nobody laughed. Then after 2 minutes again he said the same joke. Then again people started getting irritated. They said, "What is this?" So he said a very wonderful sentence. He said, "My dear friends, when you cannot laugh for the same joke again and again, then why you are worrying or why you are crying for the same pain again and again? Don't laugh. Then you should not cry. Same only, right? Because people have that mentality that they will bring the same pain. Arey, aisa ho gaya, this happened, that happened. Again and again, they will cry for the same problem, right? So anybody who is there in our life, or if we becomes somebody's in somebody's life, such a person who brings positivity, positive thought in any kind of negative things, that is real friend. And that will bring the friendship very. So we are discussing how we interact with our friends. So in that way, we will bring the happiness to the friend, and that's the interaction becomes very good. Yeah? There was the third point is when we show them, very important. When we show them our money and power, already we discussed. But this comes in this category also, like how we interact. When we in our interaction with our friends, when we show them our money, our power, our positions, so as earlier said, that will make us to feel proud, and that will make our friend to feel envy, right? Because money, as earlier again I already said that money should come in the last. In any relationship, money should come in the last. Any kind of business in friendship will not work out. Friendship based on business, right? Okay, since you are giving me this, that will not work out, because this dealing of money is very dangerous and it brings enmity, right? Wealth, women, wine, this brings enmity in between people, right? And then once little thing happened related to money, then all the equations will be changed, right? So the last and the fourth thing is, the last thing which comes in dealing with friend is that one should learn to accept difficulties on behalf of friends, right? One should accept difficulties, like we will help our friends generally when we are okay, but if we have to do something bad, something difficult situations you have to face because you want to help your friend, that will be last longer, that will help more, right? Some of you are in comfortable situation, so you helped your friend, right? You have enough money, you just gave, or a lakhs of money is there, some thousand I gave, what happens? But if you are really eh, in your need, right? You are not in a situation, but still you are taking difficulties for the helping your friend, that will. So there is a true story happened in Japan, or Japan I think, where Japan only so much earthquake comes, right? So they have a different kind of design of house where the walls are like hollow, right? So gap will be there, hmm, so to make light or something. So on other side there was a lizard, and this side somebody put a nail. I don't know, it came in news also, so might have heard. It was shared in WhatsApp or Facebook, that cuttings of newspaper. So they put the nail, and backside there was a lizard, so this nail pierced the lizard leg. Somehow she got stuck, and after 10 years actually they found out that the lizard was still there, successfully surviving. Then they noticed, these people, for this Japanese and American, they are very much interested in this kind of thing. They notice how this lizard is able to survive. Then they notice closely that another lizard is there, which brings food for this lizard. So accepting friends in their difficulties, helping them to give, that will be. You may be in happy situation, you have no, but you are, so sometime your friend calls you in night, you are nicely sleeping, he needs some help, you goes there, you're sleeping. Daytime you help, no problem, but nice, you're nicely sleeping, nice blanket and all, and your friends calls, you goes and help him. Right? So we see this true story of lizards. So one should learn to accept difficulties on behalf of friends. So fourth thing we discussed. Then fifth secret is creating synergy between each others, right? Between friends. When people who are connecting each other should help each other to grow together, right? Friends should help each other in order to grow together. So we are coming next to next, right? First we were discussing not to pull down others. The next high level principle is to help each other to grow together, right? Any example? If you see the phenomena of these birds, migrating birds who fly long long distance from one country to another country, how they fly, they form a beak like this, you know, one bird at the front, and then there are some birds on the back. So the one first bird who is facing the wind directly, it has to do a lot of job, right? A lot of effort is there, and with that effort the backside birds should, they don't have to do much work, because they are piercing this wind flow, right? But the first bird is doing a lot of effort. So in order to appreciate or give this motivation to that first bird, the backside birds will make sounds, right? And that's how they move. And after some time, when the first bird get tired, slowly they turn, and the backside bird, which were relaxing now, come in the front and they switch over, right? So they try to help each other in order to grow together, and in that way, in that helping mentality, and they goes they cross even oceans, right? Migrating birds, right? Does or not? So we saw the mentality of scorpion, and then we saw the mentality of birds. And there is a one tree. I forget the name of the tree. But this tree is very long, 300 feet long, very long trees. But if you see, their roots are very shallow, very small roots, and this. But they are living. These trees are surviving for years together. So how we can, all the storms and all, nobody, nothing can affect these trees. So how it is possible that these trees are even so tall, more than 300 feet tall, and surviving years together, but having the very shallow roots, small root? How is it possible? Because when storms and all come, if roots are not deeply strong, is not rooted properly, will take away, right? Especially the long tree they will take, right? But why these are surviving is these trees have got another way of helping each other. This is all we are learning from nature. This is nothing much. It's all common sense. That's what we are saying, right? What these trees have done is they have interconnected their roots. Even though the roots are not very deeply rooted, but they have interconnected their roots very strongly, right? Can you take this call? To tell to Akash Prabhu to tell the address. Tell Akash Prabhu to speak and or Surya Gopal Prabhu talk in Malayalam. Tell the address. This is the printing shop wala. Okay, so yeah, sorry. So these roots are interconnected very. So one tree is helping another tree to sustain. And there is no this thing also, I am a big tree or a small tree. No. Even the small trees are helping big tree, and big trees are helping small tree. All the ways are going on. How? Suppose two big trees are there, in between there is a small tree. So this big tree make interconnection with the small tree root, and then a small tree, this small tree makes with another big tree. So to sustain these two big trees, this small tree is helping. So the small tree, even though it's very small, but it is helping the big one, and big one is helping the small one. So this interconnection, this helping each other mentality is very, very important. And that's how this phenomena of helping each other to grow together is the fifth secret of lasting friendship. The second last and the sixth secret is, you might have heard this thing. I think it is the Arabian countries it is there. It is a 30-second rule. Anybody heard? In Arab countries it is there. You know, Arabs talk in that way. This 30-second rule. 30-second rule is, when first time you meet anybody you meet first time in day, you spend first 30 seconds of your meeting in order to say something which touches his heart. Make sense? No, he needs to give the delivery on this thing. You tell him to talk to him and tell him the address, and tell him we will give the money with the delivery of your house. Call him now. Okay, sorry. So this 30-second rule in Arabs, they talk like that. When they meet each other, how are you? In this, they have this thing, interacting things. So 30-second rule says that when you meet somebody first time in day, you tell something which touches his heart. The first 30 seconds you say like that. So because when you really appreciate others, genuinely, if you appreciate, that touches their heart. Nobody can resist with that, right? And someone say will start flattering them. So flattery will not touch the heart, right? Because what will touch the heart is which is coming from the heart. Flattery doesn't come from heart. Just make some sentence and say you are this, you are that. Oh, that flattery will not touch the heart. So we should not say that. Oh, the rule was like that. So whenever we meet, Arey, you are this, your shirt is like this, you what a hair. No, don't, because that will not touch the heart. So it is said what will touch the heart is only thing which comes from heart. So how things will come from heart? Things will come from heart only when you contemplate on something, right? So if I want to really appreciate somebody, genuinely I want to appreciate someone, then I need to contemplate on the good qualities. So we goes to the first point, right? Focusing on the good. So we need to contemplate on the good qualities which person have, my friend have, right? And those good qualities, when I contemplate for some time, then only those appreciation generates from the heart. Otherwise, it's all flattery. Right? So if our friend on first I have to see what good qualities he have to contemplate on those qualities that oh my then it will touch his heart and then is we have to do something for the person that he or she cannot do himself or herself in our relationship or our friendship, which that person cannot do by his own, her own, right? The moment we share something which our friend don't have, right, then it is creating some impression, right? Something which we share which he don't have, and we share a helping hand and share, right? Or we do something for him, right, which he or she cannot do. That really makes our friendship last long, right? Right. So these are the 7 principles, 7 secrets to. We'll just summarize. Can anybody remember what is the first principle is like-mindedness. Having like-mindedness. We'll just summarize. We discussed 7. I think you missed the 6th and 7th. We'll just come to the point. So the first one was like-mindedness, or having the great amount of love in between. That is the first one. There we discuss different type of friendship, like friendship because of circumstances, friendship because of same thinking, like-mindedness, and friendship because of wealth. And we discuss like that. And then second, so first principle was this, that love, great amount of love or like-mindedness in between. And second was we prepare for going for the friendship, right? So in that we discussed the 3 principle. First was the lens principle, so which says what we are, that's how we see, that's what we see, and that's how we see the life. These 3 aspects we discuss in lens principle. Then we discuss the mirror principle in the same second point, which is second point is preparation for going into the friendship, right? So first is lens principle, We have to correct ourselves if we are having such problems like that. So what we are, that's what we see, that's how we see, and that's how we see the life breathing. Mirror principle says before we see others or judge others, we spend some time in looking at ourselves, right? And then the third principle was hammer principle, which says do not just show off yourself, do not just give all the time one solution for all the problems of your friend, and do not become like uh, superman attitude, I am only knows everything, like that kind of thing. Because people don't like that attitude, and people like attitude which is like helping attitude or elevating others, that kind of attitude. So we should not bring people downwards. Then the third secret we discuss is that how we perceive others in our mind, how we analyze them in our mind, right? So that's why second principle says that in lines principle and all, we saw that before we analyze them, we analyze ourselves. Then the third says that now we learn how we analyze others, right? How we perceive our friend, right? And then there we discuss this thing like we actually miss who kind of friends we already have. The friends we already have, we miss to focus on them. We are actually looking for something imaginary character. Oh, that wonderful friend will come one day. That will never come. That doesn't exist. What we have, we can make them only our best friend, right? Someone will never. So we discuss the sheep story, right? Because everybody want to become that charismatic feature, attractive feature, but how we get it? When we when we express genuine love and compassion for others, then only we become attractive for others, right? So that was the third. And the third was how we perceive it, and the fourth one is how we interact with each other, with our friends. So there we discuss three four thing, which is when friend is happy, we should feel happy, and especially we should we said no, that most important than the experiencing happiness when friend is happy is experiencing pain when friend is in pain. That's a very important point there. Then the next thing, Hare Krishna. Then the next thing we discussed was the same principle interacting with friends is that helping our friends in order to deal in their negative situation, in order to bring them towards positivity, right? So that was the next thing. And then another thing we discussed that money and power and position, these things should come at the last in our friendship, right? And because that will make others feel envious about ourselves and make ourselves feel proud, right? And and then in this fourth secret we discussed, the last point was that one should learn to accept difficulties on behalf of friends. We discussed the lizard story, right? And then the fifth secret we discussed creating synergy between each others, where we discussed the phenomena of birds and the tree, which were very long but having a interconnected roots. And then sixth secret was 30-second rule. Whenever we meet someone, we say something. The first 30 seconds in our meeting, we say something which touches their heart. And there we said that simply flattering will not touch anybody's heart, because what can touch others' heart is something which comes from heart. And how something will come from heart is when we contemplate on good qualities of others, then only it will come from heart. So we need to sit and we need to really contemplate on our friends' good qualities, and that will come as appreciation to them. And whenever we meet, we will really, it will come automatically, it will come from our heart to appreciate them. And that first 30 seconds we will say those words which will touch their heart, and in that will nobody will have that resistance, right? And that friendship will last long. And the seventh and last secret was that we have to do something for the person that he or she cannot do for her or himself, right? We can help them in those things which they cannot do. The moment we share something which our friend don't have, then immediately a bonding forms which lasts for long. The moment we share something which our friend do not have, then the bond starts, and that will last for long. In that way, we see and we try to practice this in our life, and which will help tomorrow is friendship day, so we can remember these things and we can see who is our real friend and how we can develop a real friendship. Because nowadays if you see youngsters especially, like initially we discussed in today's session that what the Japan in Japan they are having a big disease. So youngsters are facing this problem to deal with the relationship very much. They're not able to deal with their relations, even loving relationship, friendship, parents. They are not able to deal with it. They don't know, and that is creating a big problem for youngsters especially. And as per Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling that Krishna is telling that uh, Suhurdam Sarvabhutanam. He is the best friend for Sarvabhutanam, for all the living entities. He is the best. Suhurdam. It is that Sahodara means brother. Why? Saha Udar, who shared the same stomach. In mother's womb, they shared the same. So Suhurda means who shares the same heart. So in the same heart, who is sharing our heart? God. Right? Paramatma, God in the form of Paramatma. Krishna is staying, right? Staying in our heart. Soul and super soul are staying in our, they are sharing. So it is said Krishna said he is the best friend for all. So any relation, this is, we discuss the seven points, and the concluding factor of this is that any relationship, not only friends thing, but any relationship, when our center of our relationship or our friendship becomes is not same, then the relationship will not last for long, right? So generally the example is it is like there is a pond and you throw a stone there, eh? So it makes a form, a proper waves. So you put another stone in another place, it will make, and the both waves will collapse. Then you put three, four stones, then all will collapse. Then there is no proper harmony, right? So, but if you put all the stones in one point, all the stones will be going there, but the harmony will be still there. The waves, the this thing will be maintained, right? So in our relationship, when the center is different, then it is a problem. So what we do is, as a solution, we try to bring a common center. And Bhagavad Gita teaches us that when Krishna is the common center for everyone who are interacting, who are in that relationship, eh? When God becomes a common center, then everything comes on place. Like all the relationship goes proper. And that's what Krishna said. And in our this thing we can work in that way, and considering that Krishna is declaring that he is best friend for all of us, and we can also consider Krishna as our best friend. And in order to revive that consciousness, in order to, because we are in that forgotten consciousness, we are not able to. Krishna is telling you are my best friend, but I am not able to see. I am not able to feel. So in order to, and why I am not able to feel? Because that is covered. So in order to uncover this relation, Krishna is telling you chant my name, which will bring your consciousness to the higher level, and you will be able to see this relation. And once we see our relation with God, and in that way, when we see everybody as the children of God, the whole relationship, friendship, everything goes properly. We don't want to hurt anybody, right? Thank you very much. Any question or comment?